Alright, this head coach Ross of the ATACX Gym. Helping me out is my cousin and assistant coach Kent. You know, my cousin and assistant coach Kent. Okay, and we want to show you guys right here is the step-by-step application of the broken lock flow. Okay, if I can just give me shift over here. Okay, here's the technique, step-by-step of the broken lock flow. Alright, it's going to be 3 submission holds. It's going to be 3 submission holds. Step by step of the broken lock flow. 3 submission holds off of the trap. Okay, so the technique, trapping mace, broken wing flow. Alright? So first movement here, you're going to explode forward and execute a trap, either a speed trap or a power trap. Okay? Now, yes, before you guys ask questions, yes, in class, a lot of times we just do this up here, just fake you and then go low. A lot of times we go here, like that. Alright? Or we go here, like that. Or we go here, from here, like that. Yes, we do that. We'll get there later. Okay? Off of the initial and primary technique. Alright? On the speed trap here, it's going to block. You're going to flow with the block and simply lock behind the tricep and pull his hand under and lock behind his elbow. You're going to lever down for the straight arm lock. That's one. If you resist the straight arm lock, you pivot into it. Let me turn you this way here. You pivot down. Most people will resist down. You pivot and strike the knee or the groin with your leg. If you're doing that, if you strike the knee and the groin with the leg, this hand, let me turn you here. This hand shifts to the kimura. So you're not locked here, boom. Shoot this foot down in between his base, taking his balance. Sitting him down, it allows you to pull his knuckles back along his spine and up to his shoulders. Of course, I'm not going to do that, it'll break. Okay? The other one is when you go for this trap. Here, boom, you go here, he stops you. You shoot the knee here. He messes around and either jabs like he just did, right here like that, and pushes off. Let me turn this way. See where his right palm is? I can hear his right palm, his left hand jumps here. His right palm is on my wrist, which is stopping my forward movement. What you do is you ride that forward movement. So you go here, boom, right here. That allows you to shoot the elbow into his neck, shoots his head down. See what I'm doing with his wrist? Right here, single wrist tie. Let me turn it this way so you guys can see it a little bit better. When I shot down here, I lock this arm. This allows me to take this hand, simply shoot up into the standard Americana. Now this is the classic Americana this way, just off of the angle. It's an angle off because his head is down. So I can turn you guys here so you can see it a little bit more. He'll tell you because my elbow is bracing in his neck. I start pressing here. You feel that, Doug? Right? Alright, I can feel his shoulders locking. When you try this in practice, you'll feel 3 areas. 1, you shot the elbow into his neck, which is really painful. 2, you're pressing down to his shoulder here. 3, this chest is actually pressing down on his knuckles, so you're applying a wrist lock as you're raising his shoulder up. Okay? So you have a 3 angles of contact and attack. Elbow into the carotid, shot down to the shoulders, chest into the wrist, and you're still pressing his elbow up and back past his shoulders. Bam, there you go, his attack. You saw that, right? You're pressing up and back. You start immediately feeling the load and lock here. This is a very important move to use because when you find yourself in this kind of area of conflict, this person is savvy. He's skilled. He's not a regular guy who doesn't know what's going on, because you can just use your techniques on a regular guy. You can just go over here, bam, just snap him forward. He's toast. But you see, he automatically, let me turn this way, he automatically hip checked me, which prevented me from going to the submission hold. Okay? So when you're running against somebody who's actually savvy in that regard, you have to have actual martial techniques which allows you to deal with that. A lot of guys, he in particular is, my cousin here, Kent, who's helping me here, he in particular is very good at this. He usually steps all the way through with his left leg. Step through, go ahead. And he shoots with the hips, which takes your balance away. And then he shoots through your back, and he simply hooks his arm, overhooks here, and shoots through your back. He does that all the time. He did that to me just last week. Okay? So when that happens, what you have to do is immediately go with the flow of the energy, as I told you before. This is when you clamp down with the elbows. You don't want to do, like most schools, they have your elbow out at a 90-degree angle when you're here. That gives him too much space to operate. He can move as much as he wants to. Even if he shoots your hips back, if you press your elbows down, you can still bring his head down. You see that? You always want to keep your elbows pinched in as close as you can when you go for this technique. The last aspect you guys are missing a lot is, see what I'm doing, grasping right here at the wrist. When you pinch the elbow down, you want to work the wrist back toward his spine. And see what I'm doing with his knuckles? I'm turning the wrist up. So when you press your elbows down, you press here, he'll feel it. There's a submission right there. Even if he's shooting you back, Okay? My advanced class asked the question, there is an escape, you saw him do it already. He did a check with the roll, which is hard to do. But there's a counter to everything. I'll show you the counter to that, next week. So helping me out is my cousin and assistant coach, Kent. This is head coach Ross of the ATACX Gym. Thank you very much for your time.